Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few forwards I look to add this week. The first guy, Royce O'Neal of the Brooklyn Nets. So Royce O'Neal, one of the hotter pickups at the forward position this week, especially with Durant out for a month here. And O'Neal, we always knew he was a 3-and-D guy who could give fantasy owners a few categories, but right now available in still a decent amount of fantasy leagues. Here's Royce O'Neal in 52% of leagues on the season. In his first year with Brooklyn, 9.4 points a game, 4.9 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 2.3 threes a game, and 40% from the field. So like I mentioned, he'll give you some assists, some rebounds, not score the basketball a whole lot, but the three-point ball is definitely a specialty of his. The last few games for O'Neal: January 6th at the Pelicans, 14.7 boards and assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 4 threes, 62% from the field. January 8th at the Heat, 8.6 boards, 6 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, a 3, 27% from the field. January 12th versus Boston in the first game without Durant, 11 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 threes, 42% from the field. And January 15th versus the Thunder, 11 points, 10 boards, 8 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 40% from the field. So almost a triple-double in that one here for Royce O'Neal. So right now, like I said, a guy can hit the 3-ball. A guy who's going to major minutes, especially with Durant out, anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes easily here. He's going to get his Royce O'Neal. And right now, like I said, one of the better pickups at the forward position. Available right now, 52% of leagues. Next guy's Norman Powell of the Los Angeles Clippers. So it's surprising to me here, Powell's out there in tons of fantasy leagues still here at 57% of leagues. So right here on the season for Powell, 15.6 points a game, 2.9 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.7 threes a game, and 47% from the field. So surprising to me here, he's out there in the tons of leagues. Here's Powell, a guy who really could score the basketball, and a guy that he was slumping early in the season, but now he's coming around after dealing with some injuries. Last couple weeks, 17 a game, 3.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 2.2 threes, 45% from the field here for Norman Powell. So Powell could score the ball, like I mentioned. This Clipper team here, they're starting to get things going a little bit now, winning the last 2 out of 3 games here. And you need guys like Leonard and Powell to get going, and especially with Paul George has been banged up here. Powell stepped in a little bit and playing better. January 10th versus Dallas, 27 points, 4 rebounds, and assists, a steal, 3 threes, 57% from the field. January 13th versus the Nuggets, 18 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 3 threes, 46% from the field. And January 15th versus the Rockets, 18 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 45% from the field. So right here, if you need 3-point shooting and scoring with a little bit of rebounding as well, Norman Powell's definitely a guy that can help fantasy owners at that here. And like I said, out there still in a decent amount of leagues, 57%. The next guy, Naji Marshall of New Orleans Pelicans. I mentioned Marshall last week in an ad off the wire, and he's playing good basketball, Marshall, here this season. 10.4 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1.1 threes a game, and 43% from the field. But the last couple weeks, he's gotten it going. 18 a game, 5.6 boards, 2.9 assists, 1.1 steals, 1.7 threes, and 44% from the field here for Naji Marshall. So right now, he's a guy scoring the basketball. He's getting an opportunity, and a lot of scoring is open, obviously, with Zion Williamson out without a timetable for his return so far. January 7th at Dallas, 24 points, 2 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, a block, a 3, 52% from the field. January 9th at Washington, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a 3, 36% from the field. January 11th at Boston, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, 2 threes, 40% from the field. And January 13th at Detroit, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 2 threes, and 54% from the field. So right here, playing pretty solid basketball is Naji Marshall, available in 52% of fantasy leagues here. And if you need some scoring and decent rebounding, Marshall's definitely a guy to go out there and get this week. The next guy is TJ Warren of the Brooklyn Nets. I know a lot of Nets on these waiver wire videos here this week, but with Kevin Durant out, they're going to need 2 or 3 guys to fill in the shoes of Kevin Durant, and obviously in the scoring aspect of things. So on the season, 10.5 a game for Warren, 3.1 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and 53% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, 12.6 a game, 1.8 rebounds, 1 steal a game, a 3 a game, 54% from the field. So right here, we know he's got a guy who could score the basketball over the last few seasons. Before last season, missing the whole season here, coming off the Achilles injury. But like I said, Warren's a guy, he's got a good knack to scoring the basketball. And now with Durant out, he's going to play anywhere from 20, 30 minutes a game, I would imagine. The last few games here for Warren: January 6th at the Pelicans, 15 points, a rebound, a 3, a steal, 62% from the field. January 8th at Miami, 10 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, 2 threes, 44% from the field. January 12th versus Boston, 20 points, a rebound, an assist, a block, 2 threes, 50% from the field. Then January 15th versus the Thunder, 9 points, 3 boards, an assist, 2 threes, 37% from the field. So right now, like I said, out there in tons of leagues, Warren, he's a forward I look to add this week in the 5th and final forward I look to get this week's Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson, we know he's had flashes throughout his career, putting up big games and shooting the 3-ball lights outs on the season, 11 a game, 2.5 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.7 threes, and 43% from the field. But the last couple weeks here for Richardson, 13.6 points a game, 3 rebounds, 4.4 assists, a steal, 1.9 threes, and 52% from the field. So right here, we know he could score the basketball at times. We know the San Antonio Spurs team, they need scoring in any way they could get it. And Richardson's been a decent source of that over the last few games. January 9th at Memphis, 16 points, 5 boards in that one, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 threes, 50% from the field. January 11th at Memphis, 12 points, a rebound, 5 assists, a steal, a block, 2 threes, 50% from the field. Then January 13th versus the Warriors, 9 points, 3 boards, 5 assists, a steal, a block, a 3, 44% from the field. Then January 15th versus the Kings, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 threes, and 70% from the field. So right now, playing good basketball is Richardson, a guy who could score, hit the 3-ball, and right now available in 64% of leagues. That's a few forwards I looked at on the wire here for Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season.